Hey guys, it's Emily and welcome to episode 3 of Books Around the World, where I read books set in different cities, countries, and continents. So I'm very excited for today's episode because we are traveling to Korea. So I am participating in Koreadathon hosted by Monica over at Monica Kim and Chloe over at Books with Chloe. Koreadathon is a readathon that celebrates Korean authors that takes place from July 6th until July 12th. And so since all of the books on my TBR are books that take place in Korea, more or less, so I thought that I would use this opportunity to create a third episode of Books Around the World. So there are 4 different reading challenges, and so without further ado, let's dive into my TBR. So the first book that I'll be reading is I'll Be the One by Layla Lee. This is a YA contemporary following Sky, our main character, who has a dream of becoming a K-pop star. But there's only one thing: she is plus sized. So one day Sky enters this big international competition looking for the next K-pop star. After she nails her audition, she is swept away into the world of reality TV. What she doesn't count on are the highly fatphobic beauty standards of the Korean entertainment industry. Her life is now being scrutinized by the media, and there are also sparks flying between her and her fellow competitor, Enri Cho. I'm very excited for this book. It is one of my most anticipated YA releases of the year. I know that Sky is plus size, like I said before. She's also bisexual, and I'm just very excited to read this book. I'm going to be using it for the challenge of reading a book featuring a diaspora main character. So Sky is Korean American, and I'm not sure if the plot actually takes place in Korea, so I might be cheating a little bit for like Books Around the World with that one. But since it features a Korean American main character, I thought that this would be perfect. It's all about the K-pop industry and everything, so I'm just very excited to dive into this aspect of Korean culture because I don't know too much about K-pop, to be completely honest. So I'm excited to dive more into this. Book number 2 is The Silence of Bones by June Her. So this is a YA historical mystery thriller set in the 1800s in Korea, and this is about our main character Sol, I believe her name is. She is 16 years old and she's an orphan working for the investigation bureau. She's working with this investigator to solve the murder of a noble woman. As they dive deeper into the murder and the investigation, Sol develops a friendship or a relationship of some kind with this young investigator. But things take an unexpected turn when the investigator that she's working with is the #1 prime suspect for the murder, and Sol is the only one who can solve what happened that night. Very excited for this one, and I'll be honest, if it hadn't been for the fact that this is the group book, I probably wouldn't have picked it up on my own. It wasn't necessarily on my radar, and I'm not a big mystery thriller fan. However, the premise sounds super intriguing, and so I decided to add this to my TBR. So this is for the challenge of reading a book that has a face or like a person on the cover, and as you can tell, the cover has a face, so this is what I'm going to be reading for this challenge. The third and final book that I'll be reading in this vlog is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. So this is a YA urban fantasy following our main character Gumiyoung, who is a gumiho, which is a 9-tailed fox who devours men's energy to survive. But one night after she's done feeding, she encounters this young boy in the forest who is being attacked by a goblin. Against her better judgment, she saves him and ends up losing her fox speed in the process. As Gumiyoung is trying to restore her fox speed, she is faced with a challenge. She must choose between her immortality or the new boy that she's met. So I'm going to be reading this for the challenge of reading a book that features Korean mythology. I chose this so lightly because of Books with Chloe. I know it's one of her favorite books and I'm excited to read it. I'm very intrigued by the premise. I'm not a big YA fantasy reader anymore like I used to be, and I like to think that I still am, even though I'm not really into it anymore, but we'll give it a try. I'm excited to read this, and it takes place in Seoul, so I'm just very excited to give this one a try as well. So that is it for my TBR for the Koreadathon. I am very excited to read all of these. I'm so intrigued by every single one of them, and I only picked 3 books out of the 4 challenges. The 4th challenge is to read a book that was translated from Korean, but since this is like during a work week for me and like it's only a week long, I didn't want to have an overwhelmingly long TBR, and so this is what I'll be reading in this episode of Books Around the World. So today is Monday, July 6th. The beginning of the readathon. Actually, the readathon started like 17 hours ago for me. It's 5 p.m. But you know what? Like, my work day is over. I am ready to dive into my first book, and I think for me it's going to be Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. To be honest, it probably wouldn't be the first book that I would have picked, but since this is the one that I'm dreading the most simply because it's YA fantasy, I think is the one I should start with because I know it's probably gonna take me a little bit longer than the other books to read. So I would rather like start with the one that I know is going to take me the longest. Right now, like I said, it's about 5 p.m. so I'm probably gonna start reading a little bit and then we're gonna have dinner. Tonight is, well, today's my mom's birthday, so we're gonna be celebrating that probably, and I don't know how much reading I'll get done, but I'm excited to finally start reading this. So today is day 2 of co-readathon, and yesterday I started reading Wicked Fox. I am currently on page 70 and so far I'm enjoying it. I've seen the author on Twitter promote her book and she was describing it as a paranormal romance, very reminiscent of a K-drama, and honestly that makes me even more excited to read it because I'm not big on fantasy typically, but knowing that this is like more so a romance kind of makes me even more excited to read it. So far I'm enjoying it. I like the characters, I like the world building and everything, but I'm not necessarily like that far into it, so I can't really like give you an actual opinion on the book because I don't feel like I know the characters and just the book enough to give you like a proper opinion. But so far it's good. So today is Tuesday and today is a big day for me at work because I'm getting my mid-probation evaluation. I've been at this new job for like 6 weeks and so now it's time for them to evaluate me a little bit before my probation is over, and I'll be honest, I'm kind of nervous because I don't really know what to expect. I haven't received a ton of feedback since I've started working there. Like working from home has made things a little bit more complicated than I thought it would, and so yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of feedback so far, so I don't really know which way it's going to go. I think it's going well, but it's hard for me to say. But yeah, my meeting is at 9:30 and then I'm gonna come back home to work for the rest of the day. But my boss wanted to do this like evaluation like in person, so that's why I'm going to the office. I haven't been a lot, so that's going to be like fun. I apologize for the weird angle and the awful lighting, but I have no choice. Hey guys, so today is day 3 of the co-readathon, and I'll be honest, like my life has been kind of a mess lately. Like the past 2 days have been so crazy. Let me recap you guys. So yesterday I had my mid-probation like evaluation meeting with my boss and it went a lot better than I expected. I feel like I didn't really have any expectations, but overall it went really well. And basically I told my boss that I needed more work, like I wasn't feeling challenged enough and I could take on more work. So like if he had any projects to flip my way, I'd be more than willing to take them on. And like maybe I shouldn't have spoken because like honestly I've been kind of crazy busy the past like 2 days. I ended up working like later yesterday and like today I had to like shorten up my lunch break because I've just been so busy. I might try to like work more throughout the rest of the week and just like take off earlier on Friday. I'll have to check with my boss if that's okay, but I don't think that would be a problem. And just like the next 2 days are just going to be so crazy busy and I'm just like kind of dreading everything. Anyway, so I haven't had a lot of time to read, but I did manage to make some progress with Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I'm currently on page 149 and I'm really enjoying it. I really like the fact that this is an urban fantasy. I feel like it's easier for me to fly through because I just don't read a lot of fantasy anymore. So like the fact that this is set in our world just makes it easier for me to like digest, I guess. But I'm really enjoying the dynamic between the two main characters and overall I'm just really enjoying the story. I just don't really know where it's going. That's my only issue with it so far. Like I don't see where we're gonna go. Like what is the quest? What is the goal? I'm not sure, but other than that I am enjoying it. But now I am going to take a mini break from the co-readathon. I have to film another video and it's like a reading vlog style video, so I don't know for how long I will be taking a break. I will leave the link to the video up here because it will most likely be out by the time you guys watch this one, so I will be doing that and then I'll be heading back into my co-readathon TBR. I really hope that I'll be able to finish everything. I'm starting to doubt myself a little bit because I don't know how much time I'll have to actually read. Like this weekend will have to be like reading grind because like this week I just don't foresee myself being able to read a lot, so hey guys, so today is day 4 of the co-readathon and I have finished filming and like reading the well, I finished reading the other book and filming the other video that I was like working on, and now I'm ready to dive back into Koreadathon. So let's talk about like my progress, where I'm at, and my priorities for like the rest of the week, because we're on day 4 and I have yet to complete a book, which like I blame on the fact that my job was super busy and like my personal life has been also very busy lately. I wasn't planning on that happening this week, but oh well. And I also knew that with this video that I was filming that I might have to like interrupt the Koreadathon, which I did. And so yeah, now I'd get back into my Koreadathon groove. So let's talk about books. So I'm still reading Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I am 149 pages in, as I've mentioned before, still very much enjoying it. But I'll be honest, tonight I'm not really in the mood to continue reading this. I think I want to start something new. And so I thought, since there's only 3 days left, if you don't count today, of the readathon, I should probably prioritize The Silence of Bones by Junher, because it is a group book. And so I thought that was the one I should probably prioritize. And if I'm being completely honest, if it wasn't for this readathon, I probably wouldn't have picked it up on my own. So I think like I need to read it this week, because otherwise I might not read it for a while. So I'd much rather like read it now that like not it's relevant, but now that I'm like in the mood to read it and like I have a reason to read it, then like just wait until like eventually I just pick it up randomly. But I'm also not in the mood to read that. I feel like I want to read something like light and fun. None of those books really fit the description. Like I'm not in the mood for a fantasy. Oops. And I'm not in the mood for something like darker. So I think I am going to start I'll Be the One by Layla Lee. I'm very excited for this one. I am in the mood for like a fluffy, cute contemporary. I hope this fits the description and it won't be like a hard-hitting contemporary, because it does tackle topics like fat phobia. I just don't want it to be like a sad story, you know? I really want it to be uplifting and fun and cute, and I don't know. I'm just very excited, and I love how colorful this color is. It's just so stunning. So I'm gonna start it tonight, and I think I can finish this like quite easily. I don't know if I'll be able to finish all 3 books by the end of the week. Like I'm starting to doubt myself a little bit, but we'll make sure that this weekend is all about reading, even though I do have a video to edit and upload, but like it shouldn't take too long. Hey guys, so welcome to day 5, looks like 10 but it's 5 of the readathon. So today I am reading I'll Be the One by Layla Lee. I just finished my work day. It's like 3:45. I finished early because I've been working like longer this week, and also I started early today because I was so overwhelmed with everything that I just decided to start my work day early, so now I can finish early, which is great. So I decided to continue reading this. I'm in the mood to continue it. I started it last night and I've been really enjoying this so far. I'm currently on page 88. So I read about 50 pages before I went to bed last night, and I continued reading during my lunch break today, and now I'm in the mood to continue this. It's so much fun so far. The topic of like being fat, like the representation I guess, is being discussed a lot, which I guess I wasn't expecting. I thought it was part of it, but I didn't think it was like the main focus. And so far the book has focused a lot on the fact that Sky is plus sized, and I just didn't think that this would be such an important part of the story. Like I knew it was part of it, but I didn't think most of the story would revolve around this. It makes sense, but like I wasn't expecting it to take such a big place in the story. But it's been a great read so far. I've been really enjoying it, and I thought that since in the part that I just read, like in the chapter I read, they are learning a dance from BTS. I think it's Idol, and apparently it's like a super hard choreography. And since I've never really listened to K-pop, like I know like maybe 1 or 2 songs, so I thought that since K-pop is such a big part of this, I would watch the music video for Idol and just hopefully see the dance that they were talking about in this book. So right now, this is what I'm gonna be doing. Okay, so I just finished watching the music video. The choreography doesn't look that bad, but I'm sure it's harder than it looks. So the fact that they can do it and like just make it seem easy means that it's probably quite hard. So I get it. The costumes were incredible. Like the colors in the music video were just like incredible. I really like that. Like visually, it's such an appealing music video. I also quite like the song, which not that it's surprising, but it's not a genre of music that I thought I was really into. I guess, like I said before, I never really gave it a fair shot. So I thought it was nice, and I actually like added it on my Spotify because I quite like it. I feel like with BTS and like K-pop and everything, I just don't know where to start. I'm so intimidated because I don't know where to begin. Like they're popular across like the world, and I just don't know, like, should I begin with like their first album or like their most recent stuff? Which groups should I start with? Like I know BTS is really popular, but I'm sure there are other groups that I would like. So now I think I'm going to dive back into my book, and if there are any other mentions of other songs from other like K-pop groups, I might listen to them and like watch a music video because I really enjoyed watching that one. windy. Can you hear it? Like, can you see it? Oh, I thought my bookmark had gone away, but it's here. But yeah, like it's crazy windy outside. I don't know like what's going on. Might have a little bit of like a rainstorm going on because it's been so hot and humid. So that might be it. But wow, it was such a nice afternoon. As soon as I come outside, obviously it has to go like to shit or something. Hey guys, so today is day 6 of Koreadathon and today is Saturday, which means that I'll finally have more time to like read and vlog and just like do all the things that I wasn't able to do throughout the week because I was working. And so I'm very excited for this weekend, especially because like we're having a rainy weekend, which means that it's like optimal weather to like read and just like snuggle up inside and curl up with a good book. So I'm very excited. But yesterday I finished reading my first book, and that book is I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. I ended up loving this book so much. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 stars. It's so well deserved. It was amazing. I just really loved it, and listening to the K-pop songs that were mentioned as I was reading along really heightened my experience, and so I really enjoyed it. I also thought the romance and like the friendships were super cute, and I just really loved the characters in this book. They're also like endearing and charming, and I just loved all the relationships because they were so near and dear to my heart. I just really felt like this was perfect, like a perfect summer read. I just really enjoyed it. But there's a reason why this book got a 5 out of 5 stars, and that's because of the fat rep. This book means so much to me as a fellow fat girl because I could relate to Sky on such a personal level, and it even got to a point where, you know, there's fat phobia in this. Like I mentioned it before, it's a trigger warning. I kind of got triggered by some of the comments that Sky received on a day-to-day basis, and there's a scene specifically where she has to undress in front of her friends, and she just like hears all of these comments going through her head, stuff that her mother has said to her before, and I just started crying as Sky was also crying. I just started sobbing uncontrollably. I couldn't like cope because it felt so close to my own struggles with my body and everything. And honestly, this book means so much to me. Like the fact that there's rep in it, and like I could see myself in Sky a lot because of what she was going through and like her struggles with her body image. I really appreciated that book. There's also another level on which I could relate to Sky, and that's like her relationship with her mom. So she has a very complicated and problematic relationship with her mother, and like while mine is nothing like hers, it's something that I kind of related to, like struggling with like communicating with your mom, especially about like stuff about your body. Sky's mom is always putting her down and like telling her she's not beautiful because she's fat, and I really related to that. And even though like my mom doesn't say it the way that Sky's mom did, I just really felt like I could relate to that. I really felt like I was her and I could really relate to her, even though like the whole Korean thing was incredible as well. Like I just really liked being immersed into that world, but I couldn't relate to that because I'm not Korean. So like I said, today is Saturday, and so I think today I'm going to continue reading Wicked Fox, which is somewhere in my room. I just don't know where. I'm gonna have to finish editing the video that I filmed this week because it has to go up like tomorrow. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing for part of the day. I also have to run some errands with my mom. I have to pick up a prescription, and I think my mom has to pick up something else from a different store, and then I'm probably going to come back here and read for the rest of the day. I kind of want to get into the group book, which is The Silence of Bones, but I think I would rather finish Wicked Fox first and then like maybe try to read The Silence of Bones if I can manage to do that. So I think that's the plan for today. I am hoping I can bring you guys along a little bit more than I have so far this week. guys, so it's about 6:30 p.m. and I'm currently on page 256 of Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I am quite enjoying it, but I'll be honest, I'm a little bit confused. Not by the world building or like what's going on in the story. It's more so like I don't know what to expect. I don't know where it's going next. I feel like the storytelling style is very different from what I'm used to. I don't know if it's because it's like a K-drama format and like the storytelling aspect of that is different, or it's the fact that it's fantasy and I don't really read fantasy anymore. But I feel like we just reached a big climax in the book, and to be honest, like that could have been the ending of the book, and now like there are still like 150 pages, like 200 pages left, and I just don't know where the book is going. I don't know what our characters are going to do. I don't know, and it's kind of annoying a little bit. Like it's bothering me that I don't know what to expect, and maybe it's because I'm so used to reading like romance and contemporaries that has a lot of tropes, and therefore you always kind of know what you're getting yourself into when you're starting the book. But with that one, I just really don't know what's coming next, and so it's kind of a weird experience, but I am enjoying the book nonetheless. It's just that the storytelling is just not very linear. But I have been reading and like running errands this afternoon and watching YouTube videos and like editing my own video, which is now done, like it's uploaded and everything. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think the rest of my night for the most part is going to be dedicated to reading. I'm hoping I can finish this book tonight. If I get tired of reading it because it's fantasy and like I can only read so much fantasy at a time, I might pick up The Silence of Bones, which is right here. I'm hoping to be able to read both. At this rate, I might be able to read both because this book is only like 320 pages, I believe, and so it's not that long. I should be able to finish it, especially if it's like a thriller and it's something that is like a page turner. I might be able to like read it very easily and quickly. So I'm still hopeful. I was kind of like losing hope, but seeing how I only have like about 200 pages of Wicked Fox to read, and then I have The Silence of Bones, which is about 300 pages, I think I can do it. So it is currently 8:20 p.m. and I am on page 300 of Wicked Fox by Kat Cho, but I'll be honest, I'm not super in the mood to read this anymore. It's not that it's not good, I'm still enjoying it, but we've hit a point in the book where the pace has slowed down a little bit and I'm just not super in the mood to read this right now. Maybe it's just because I've read a lot today and I'm not in the mood to read anymore, but I decided to put this down for a while and I watched some YouTube videos of like Korean YouTubers or just like people who live in Korea. Like Carrie Cakes is one of the people who I've been really loving lately, and I'll leave her channel link down below if you guys want to check her out, but she's amazing and she lives in Korea, so I thought that was interesting. She lives in Seoul, and since the characters in this book live in Seoul, I think it's super interesting to like watch the content because it gives me a better idea of like what the city actually looks like. So yeah, side note. But I've been watching some YouTube videos, but I was like starting to get not bored with the YouTube videos, but I just couldn't like really pay attention anymore. So I think what I'm going to do is one of the live challenges. So Monica and Chloe have decided to include some live challenges so that we can experience the Korean culture to its maximum, I guess. And one of the challenges is to watch like either a Korean movie or like a K-drama or some kind of Korean entertainment. And so I thought it would be the perfect time for me to finally try a K-drama. I know a lot of people love K-dramas and I know Netflix has quite a few. However, I haven't really dove into that trend. Kind of like with K-pop, I know a lot of people love them, but I don't know where to start. So what I did is I went through Netflix at the beginning of the week and I picked some K-dramas that I might be interested in, and I asked you guys to vote for which one was your favorite, I guess, or which one you think I should watch first on Twitter. And the results were that I should watch Romance is a Bonus Book. But there's also another K-drama that came in like really close in second place, and that was LO My 20s. I know that for Romance is a Bonus Book, Anisha from Sprinkled Pages said that it's about the bookish world. So basically like we're following an editor, I believe, and so books are a topic in this K-drama. So since I'm a reader, I might really enjoy that one, and she thought it would be perfect for me. And then for Hello My 20s, Monica, one of the hosts of this readathon, told me that it was her favorite, so I wanted to give that one a try as well. So I think what I'm going to do, because I don't remember the plot of any of those, I'm just going to rewatch the ones that I had selected. I'm going to watch the trailers for the ones that I had selected, and I'll pick the one that I'm just most interested in. I will give the ones that you guys voted for a try. I just like kind of want to go with the flow with that one and just like watch the trailers, see which ones I'm interested in. I decided to go with Romance is a Bonus Book, the one that you guys voted for on Twitter. That's the one that sounded like the one that I might be into the most. So we're gonna watch that. I don't know how long it is. Like I have no idea like what to expect in terms of like format or anything, but I'm ready to give this a try. So I'm going to get myself some snacks and we are going to do a little binge watching session. Hey guys, so today is Sunday and so it is the last day of a Koreadathon. Sadly, I've been having a great time, but it will be coming to an end in like a couple of hours. But I wanted to update you guys on Romance is a Bonus Book because I started watching it yesterday, as you guys know, and I fell in love with it. It is so good. I am obsessed. I only watched 2 episodes last night because I wanted to go to bed at like a reasonable time, but I could have watched a lot more episodes and I kind of wanted to turn on my TV and watch TV all day today because I just really wanted to continue watching the show, but I have to continue reading. But I'm really happy that I picked this up. It's so good. It's so cute. It's very different from what I was expecting. I didn't know that Korean dramas have like hour-long episodes, so I thought I would be making my way through it like much faster. Like with hour-long episodes, it takes me a little bit more time, you know? But I'm really enjoying it, and it's quite a different experience like watch a K-drama because I have to like always pay attention to what's happening on TV because I have to like read the subtitles, whereas like usually when I put on TV, sometimes I'll do other things at the same time. I'll scroll through social media and like just be on my phone. But with subtitles, like something that is not in one of the languages that I speak, I have to make sure that I pay attention because otherwise I'm just super confused. But I really like it. It's very different from what I was expecting though. But today is Sunday, like I said, and we have to finish reading our books. So I am on page 349 of Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I read a little bit of this morning and oh my god, you guys, I just hit a point where like we had a big plot twist, like a big reveal, and I was like, wait, what? I wasn't expecting it. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'll be honest though, I'm reading this much slower than I was anticipating. The first half of the book was so good, but I feel like the pacing in the second half is kind of off. Like compared to the rest of the book, it's much slower and it's harder for me to read about it because not much is really happening, and so I just don't really care anymore, which is sad. There's only about 100 pages left, so I'll be finishing this morning, hopefully, for sure, and then I'll try to start reading The Silence of Bones. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it. I'm hoping I will be able to finish both books today. That would be amazing. I'm also hoping to do a little bit of cleaning today because I need to like clean up my room, so we're gonna be doing that. Hey guys, so I just finished cleaning up my room. I feel so much better. I just feel like I'm ready to start the week and I just feel like I'm decluttered, which is great. But I also finished reading Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. Now, I enjoyed this book. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. As I said before, the second half of the book kind of dragged for me. However, I feel like the ending made it worth it. It tied everything together, like even the aspects that I thought were just like there. I feel like it really tied in everything, which was great. Like there are, I guess, forces at play that I wasn't expecting to like play a role in the second half of the book and like the ending itself. I don't know, I thought the author did a good job, and for a debut I think it's really great. I think it's a debut, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is, and so I thought it was good. I feel like I couldn't give it a 4 because of the second half of the book. I just felt like it dragged and I was kind of bored, but I loved the characters. I really like the world building. I say world building, but it's not really world building, it's just set in our world, so it's not really world building, but I love the mythology aspect to it and just like learning about this new culture. So 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it and I would highly recommend it. If you guys are looking for like an urban fantasy, this one is great. So that means that we are now ready to start reading The Silence of Bones by June He. I don't feel like reading right now though, like it's about 1:30 p.m. and I just don't feel like picking this up just yet. I will start this afternoon and I'm sure I can finish this today. Like I'm pretty sure that I will be able to finish everything on time unless like I just don't read for the rest of the day, but I don't foresee that happening. So I think what I'm going to do instead is watch a little bit more of Romance is a Bonus Book, as I've been thinking about this for a while. So I just kind of want to continue watching it, and I feel like I would be distracted if I started this and just like kept wanting to watch the K-drama. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, and I might also like do some coloring. I have this Disney coloring book that I've been like slowly filling in throughout quarantine. So like I'm probably going to do that a little bit while I watch a K-drama, and we'll start reading this shortly afterwards. Hey guys, so I have finished reading The Silence of Bones by June He, and okay, I'll be honest, I did not love this. I'm giving this a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad book by any means, but I just couldn't care. I couldn't care about the characters, especially the main character. This book is written in first person point of view, so I thought that I might be able to connect with the main character, but I just didn't care. I don't know if it's a writing style, I don't know if it's just because this is a mystery thriller and historical fiction, and both of those are genres that I don't pick up because I'm just not interested. So I don't know if it's a mix of everything. I just couldn't really care. I just powered through this. I read this because I had to for this readathon, and it was a group book and I wanted to finish it. But if I'm being honest, like if it had been a book that I had picked up just for fun, I probably would have DNF'd it, but for this video I wanted to finish it. So yeah, I just didn't really care for this, and I think it might just be a case where it didn't work for me, but it might work for you. I know a lot of people give this like a 4 or 5 out of 5 stars, but personally it just wasn't for me. I don't have much to say as to why, because I'm not sure I get why. Like the mystery was interesting, but I think it's really an issue with the characters for me. I just couldn't connect. I felt like they were distant. I just didn't really care about anyone or anything that was going on. So this brings us to the end of Koreadathon. I had so much fun participating. I discovered a lot of new things about Korean culture this week. I wish I would have been able to do the second life challenge, which was to either like cook a Korean recipe or I think like eat Korean food, and I should have prepared better for that challenge because I thought I would just like make something easily. As it turns out, you need specific ingredients, and I didn't really go grocery shopping. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna order something, but then we don't have any Korean restaurants in the area. But I still had a lot of fun like watching K-dramas. I'm obsessed with Romance is a Bonus Book. I also had a lot of fun listening to K-pop songs, and overall I just like had a great week. So I want to thank Chloe and Monica for hosting this readathon. I had such a great time, and I discovered some great new authors that I am looking forward to reading more of. So that also brings us to the end of this third episode of Books Around the World. I know it was a more like laid back edition of my Books Around the World series. I hope you guys still enjoyed it. I have great locations planned for you guys. I am so excited to film the upcoming episodes, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. And I guess that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give this a big thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!